Hello, you all. I'm back. My name is Travis Lytle Jr., and I am here today because of One Life on Purpose with Millennials that Pray. What is One Life on Purpose? One Life on Purpose is, we all have one life, and we should maximize it to its full potential. And One Life on Purpose serves as the master solution to better help individuals of all backgrounds renew their life by activating their anointing, building their ideal body, cultivating their creativity, and directing their passion into profit, all while fulfilling their one life on purpose. And so today we're going to be talking about Millennials that Pray, and where P is for peace, R is for restoration, A is for affirmation, and Y is for yearning for more. So let us pray. So today's live, we're going to be talking about the movement that I started with Millennials that Pray last May of 2018. And this year, we are back better, bigger and expecting greater in 2019. So I want to dive right in, get right to the meat and potatoes of today's call, put you all up on a little free game, and make sure that you all can sit down, learn, take some good notes, and you can pass the test, okay? So last week we started a series, Identity Check. And tonight we're going to be having part 2, and we're going to be talking about comfortability. Because I have a feeling that there are a lot of people out there that may just be too comfortable. So ask yourself, are you too comfortable? Remember, by definition, identity with this new series, identity is who you are, the way you think about yourself, the way you are viewed by the world, and the characteristics that define you. So what does the voice of comfortability even look like? This is a voice, you all, you may hear quite frequently, especially if you're an expert at whatever you have been doing for maybe the last 5, 10, 15, or 20 years. Also, you may consider yourself successful because you are in a habit. And this is the comfort zone habit, perhaps. Let me give you two examples. The first example is taking a lawyer for an example. That lawyer, he or she loves to prepare their case and go to the courtroom every week. Right? They love to do that. They're comfortable, perhaps. And take a teacher for an example. He or she may love to teach the kids that they're dedicated to doing, but they may just be too comfortable. They love to do that day in and day out, 365 days a year. So people here are not really about real growth when they're in the comfort zone and they're listening to the comfort zone voice. They're okay with being stagnant. And with myself being an entrepreneur, I desire to hang around real entrepreneurs. And I know that real entrepreneurs, they are not treating their business like a hobby. They're making the necessary sacrifices and they're doing what they have to do to get the job done. And we'll get more into detail about what is a way to really treat your business like a business and not like a hobby. But with the comfort zone, you have a voice. And you got to surrender your will to that voice and block it out. Say that I'm not broke. I am able to pay my rent. I'm not acting out of desperation to figure myself out, right? The comfort zone resembles 4 different, traits. And I'm going to kind of break this thing down. And those that are too comfortable can be found to be having this kind of mindset. What am I talking about? Let's look at first the middle class entrepreneurs. Middle class entrepreneurs, this is a social group between the upper and working classes, including professionals, business people, and their families. They're not broke, but they do entrepreneurship like a hobby. They don't give, anyone enough revelation. You got to give someone a revelation of what to expect. What are you promising, right? There's just something missing with the middle class entrepreneurs. They're communicating to the masses that I'm just going to go to the event. I'm going to go to the conference, and me simply showing up, me having a great time is just what I want. I'm okay with that. They have the check mark mentality where they're saying, I'm just want to check it off the list and say I went to that event. Middle class entrepreneurs are crippling, really, in all honesty, their own success. So that's the first mindset you could have as looking at the middle class entrepreneurs. Don't be like them. I desire to be a part of an elite group of high performing achievers and entrepreneurs that's moving like the 5%, that's going to the 95% and sharing with them an opportunity. So I really can't hang around middle class entrepreneurs. I don't have time for it because honestly, they will hold me back because they're not thinking big enough because they're too comfortable. Thinking about also another trait in the mindset when people think about their career. And a career is an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life and with opportunities for progress. Here, they're not looking for an advancement or promotion. Think about your own career. Maybe you are saying, I'm good with not being, with not doing anything extra, right? Or I'm good about not doing anything more. You may just be too comfortable right now, and you say, well, I don't want, to be pulling myself out of, what I'm currently doing. I don't want to look into doing anything more. They haven't really asked themselves perhaps the question, have I really gotten any better or, different results? Have I been continuing to get the same results for the last 2 years, the last 3 years, or the last 4 years, right? Because they find themselves just really content with where they are, with nothing really progressing and growing and being able to further develop themselves. They do not really understand that you have to be a lifelong learner. Now think about the comfort zone trait that you have when you deal with your bank account. What is the bank account? It's the money that is where the money is to take care of your needs, right? They have the people that are comfortable, they have a bank account and they're making $100 and they're content with that. They set goals like, if I can make an extra $500 or extra $1,000, I'm okay. I'm straight. I'm good with that, right? Or think about college, an educational institution or establishment. In particular, one providing higher education or specialized professional or vocational training. Unfortunately, if someone was to go to college to expose and bring out their spiritual DNA, they will see different things, right? While in the training and live events, they'll be like, well, I'm trying to create something. I'm trying to do something where I can create something. When you go to college, you're not just going and say, well, I'm going to college so I can get a career job. You're not just showing up for the trainings so that you're okay with so you can be okay with getting a flat salary. You're not okay. You're looking for elevation. That's how that's how I dealt with my college experience. I wanted to go to college, not only just get 1 degree, but I wanted to get 2 degrees because I wanted to access my spiritual DNA. I wanted to build connections. I wanted to have lifelong relationships. I wanted to be able to create new products and services that, connected with what I went to really school for, so I can find my purpose, right? And to do more than just working a job and just being content with just working that little job. So now I really want to speak about the business success and spiritual growth perspective. When you think about, are you really too comfortable? I'm going to give you 3 business tips, 3 quick tips on how to ensure that you can step outside of your comfort zone. I want you to be able to ignore that comfort zone voice in your head. I want you to be able to tap into your subconscious, not just your conscious. And I want you to learn how to embrace not being comfortable, right? Tip number 1, show up every day being consistent. Business, this is from the business perspective. Show up every day being consistent. The battle is half won if you just show up. Do what you can do tomorrow. Just do it today. Just get it done today. Make the decision to start something and take the initiative before someone else make that decision for you. Start something before someone says, and give you the opportunity for them to say, why won't you do this? Why won't you start this? Just start it yourself and show up every day. Remind yourself every day that you made a decision, that you are already committed, and there's no going back. So tip number 1, for the business perspective, show up every day and be consistent. From the success perspective, tip number 2, recognize your improvements. Track your progress. Rejoice in it, right? You are now a changed person. You are not focusing on being comfortable. Go after your success wholeheartedly. Build your confidence by going back to what before was uncomfortable and go through the experience again and again. Then success, I promise you, is going to be bound to happen and show up for you. And then you will start seeing so much more success and progress in real time. So tip number 2 from the success perspective is recognize your improvements. Now think about the last thing, spiritual growth. Tip number 3, share the journey, right? Share the journey. John 15:16 shares with us in the Bible. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. What is for you is for you, period. So share more, because sharing is welcoming and inviting, and it's really, sharing is caring. So some challenges are yours and yours alone, but that doesn't mean, you all, that you have to feel lonely in this process by yourself. Include others in your journey. Include others in the process so that they can support you and can be entertained by your struggles and eventual success. Okay? This makes sure that you have other people on the journey with you, and it will be even better for you to be able to go through life and not be comfortable. So tip number 3 for the spiritual journey perspective, spiritual growth perspective, is tip number 3, share the journey. So I really want to make sure, in conclusion, the comfort tribe, those that are too comfortable, they're 100% out of tune with their subconscious, and they're 100% operating with their conscious DNA. And they're dangerous, as they're simply posers and pose as the sold out tribe. But they're not, they're not really posing as a sold out tribe, because they are okay with just being comfortable. Right? So since I'm committed to expose my spiritual DNA, I can't hang with any and every one. We are in a different league, period. So now that we've talked about all of this, you all ask yourself, how does it make you feel with me saying right now that if you apply the 3 above tips, that if you simply surrendered and gave it your all for 6 months, that your life could be drastically different? Do you really believe that? Because I know for me, that doesn't scare me. That excites me. Does it scare you, or does that excite you? That your life could be drastically different if you commit and surrender 6 months? Because that excites me, because it shows me that there is hope. It shows me that I got more in me, opposite of being comfortable. So I want you all to really proclaim the Millennials that Pray affirmations. I'm going to drop them down in the comment section. And I want y'all to know this. Sometimes you may not want to physically say something verbally, right? But God calls all to be a vessel. You can be a vessel by really simply wearing a t-shirt to help freely express yourself. So I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to get a t-shirt. And I want you to get one from our t-shirt line, Cotton Expressions, and spread the word. Most importantly, remember, guys, we all have one life, and we should maximize it to its full potential. This is all living our one life on purpose, and we got to be intentional about our business, our success, and our spiritual growth. So don't forget to follow One Life on Purpose on Instagram, Facebook, and go to visit online, www.1lifeonpurpose.com. So it's been a pleasure talking to you all this evening. With you today, my name is Travis Lytle Jr., so feel free to check out my Instagram highlights, my Facebook pages, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Love you all. God bless. And this concludes today's episode from Millennials that Pray, brought to you by One Life on Purpose. Good evening. Good night.